Okay, let's speak to Elton Hart, who is a legal analyst. Elton Hart, how exactly do these witnesses help the state's case?
No, I think what the state is trying to do with these two witnesses, specifically the landlord, is to actually go back to, of course, accused number 3. There was a dispute about identity and saying that he did not have dreadlocks, just to actually confirm that at the stage, around and about January 2015, that he actually had dreadlocks. But we could see the girlfriend. There were certain pictures shown to her, and you could clearly hear from her evidence. She was not sure. She could say that I can see the hair, but I cannot confirm it is him on the photo album that was there. But the state is clearly trying to actually eliminate the issue of identity, to say that we now have ascertained that the identity of accused number 3 is the person that is also the person that was identified at Vosloorus on 26 October 2014, where the unfaithful, on that unfaithful night when Senzo Meyiwa was actually gunned down.
It's also confusing because Advocate Nisi, throughout the trial, from the time the issue of identity has been brought up, has never denied that his client had dreadlocks. In fact, at some point, also admitting that that is not an issue of contention. And so, to what end is the state presenting these witnesses whom the defense has no questions for?
I don't know what is the state trying to prove, because obviously they said, the state says he had dreadlocks. Zandi Kumalo, Tumelo Madlala, Ntokozizi Twala said that they saw also an intruder with dreadlocks. And the issue is just now to actually try and say that this gun that was found in your possession, a bullet head that was sort of half discharged from that firearm was found on the crime scene. To say, okay, we linked the bullet head and the gun together, and we say shortly after the Senzo Meyiwa murder, you were found in possession. So the inference that should be drawn is that you were involved in killing him, and you also had dreadlocks, and the person they saw in the house also had dreadlocks. So the only reasonable inference that can be drawn is that it was you with the dreadlocks that was in the house. And I think that is how the state wants to actually hook these things onto each other, to say, you were the one that was on 26 October 2014 in the Kumalo house in Vosloorus.
Elton, from the work that you do, at which point is a case deliberately delayed? And how do you even prove delay tactics, right? Because you've got these two witnesses whose testimony was short and sharp. The defense had no questions for them. And now the trial has adjourned and will wait until the next witness comes tomorrow. People who were not even in the house when this happened or around the house when this happened.
I don't know why the state fears to call Kelly Kumalo to come and testify. Why the state fears to call Kelly Kumalo's mother, who was in the house, to come and testify. Because a prosecutor's duty is not to find somebody guilty, is to demonstrate to court with evidence in the interest of justice who committed a crime. So if it means that he has to present evidence that will exonerate the 5 accused currently, he needs to produce it. He should not build a case to try and actually just convict. Because clearly now you can see by the delay tactics by the state, they were supposed to call the witnesses one after the other and come and tell the court, give the court the information. Now, every time there's a delay, and the people that suffers the most, unfortunately in this case, is not only the accused, it's the Meyiwa family that is actually suffering here, because it's 10 years down the line and they still don't know what happened to their son. And that for me is it's a travesty of how these things are conducted. If you know that a witness or two is going to be called, you have a third witness and a fourth witness there, you just tell them at the end of the day, unfortunately, you're not called, but you'll be here tomorrow. You need to line up your witnesses so that we don't lose court time. And here it's now deliberate waste of court time, resources that could have been effectively used somewhere else.
Yeah, Elton, one loses track of how many witnesses have taken to the stand so far, but it's more than safe to say 7 witnesses that have taken to the stand. And so, from your observation, does the state have a case here against these 5 men?
At this point in time, there is a good chance that these guys will be acquitted, and that is always my fear. If these 5 guys are acquitted, we will never know what happened to Senzo Meyiwa. Because if they say later on they're going to charge the 7 that was in the house and try and use these 5 to come and testify against those, they will not come and testify. And then we'll never know what really happened. And as it goes on now, you can see the state is blowing hot and cold. You can't say that the state has got a clear-cut case by the throat to say these people are going to be convicted. It's loose ends here and there, and the defense is continuously casting doubt with the evidence that is brought by the state.
Elton Hart is a legal analyst. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.